Hello and welcome. I finally installed shaders. The reason I didn't have them before is because I was kind of intimidated by them. I've installed mods and I've installed CC. Shaders goes in a completely separate folder. It is much more complicated, in my opinion, to install them. So I set time aside to figure that out and do that. If I needed to do it again, I would have to watch another YouTube video because it was a little bit complicated. But I did it. We're here. My video is going to look so good. I'm so excited for this. I did build this house specifically to show off my shaders. So this is a modern home with a retro twist. And the twist part is because I've never built a retro home before. So I'm not sure if it fits the criteria or not. So we're gonna say retro with a twist. Anyway, it does look really good. I've shown it off to a few of my friends and they agree that it does look retro, which is great because that's what I was going for. I still wanted it to look kind of modern because this is the save file that I've been working on for a little bit now. And in this neighborhood, I think I only have one more lot to redo, and they're all very modern homes. I didn't want it to not blend in with the rest of what I had going on right here. It does look a little bit different, but that's okay. It still looks modern when you're looking at the neighborhood as a whole. So those are high school years doors, and honestly, I've never used them before, but they looked so good as a front door. I don't think they're meant to be used as a front door. I think they're for like the auditorium or the front door of the school, but definitely going to be using those more often. When I was building this, because I was doing a retro style, I wanted to use things that I don't normally use. I do build pretty modern houses with modern furniture and decorations, so I tried to not opt for the stuff that I usually use. But I had fun. I found some new items that I've never bothered to even look at before. I used a lot of the decor to the max kit, the new kits that we got, even Cozy Gamer here and there in this house. Like the open books, the candles fit perfectly. Also, I am a huge fan of Little Simsy. I watch all of her videos. Every day when she posts, I watch them. So I'm super happy that she got her own kit. She's one of my favorite Sims YouTubers. So when I was building the front of the house and decorating it, I was trying to keep in mind the new trailer that Johnny Zest has with the white picket fence and the flamingos and stuff. I wanted there to be that little like patches of grass too, but then I didn't want it to look like a trailer yard. So I wanted to keep that grass right there, but I ended up going for just a small itsy bitsy spot of grass in the front, and I used terrain paint instead of the tiles. I feel like the tiles always look way too like smooth cut, like blunt edge, and I didn't want that. I don't like that. I do like things to look more natural. So if I can avoid using tiles outside of the house, I will. The reason I kept the cement tiles here is because it matches the sidewalk, and I do believe that I use those same tiles in the back as well. Whenever I do use tiles though, I really like using some sort of fence or something to cover that blunt edge so it doesn't look so scary. I also don't ever really use these plants specifically. I always go for like shrubs and bushes and never succulents. I do like them though. I'm definitely gonna start using those more. I didn't think that it would make sense to have shrubs and bushes in the desert, so I didn't use them. I've also never used that tree before either. I honestly didn't know that it was there, but it looks good with this house. I think my favorite part about this build is the backyard. The backyard turned out amazing, and normally by the time I get done building a house, and I always do the backyard last, so by the time I get to it, I'm kind of over decorating because I always leave like the parts that I like the least for the end, which is usually like the bedrooms. I have a hard time finding personalities for my made-up Sims, especially if I'm not playing them. So I don't really like decorating bedrooms, but like the living areas, love it. The outside, for the most part, love it. I've been enjoying landscaping more recently than I used to. But the backyard turned out so good. I love it. I actually might play in this house. I only built this to show off my shaders and how great they look. But yeah, the backyard's my favorite. You'll see that in a little bit. And before I forget, going back to the I have a hard time decorating bedrooms, I was watching YouTube videos last night, specifically Simmery's YouTube channel. She is another really great builder. I love watching her build stuff. Anyway, she had mentioned that whenever she is decorating bedrooms, she likes to bring the whole theme of the house into the master bedroom, because, well, they're the ones decorating the house, so obviously the bedroom's gonna look the same. And normally I don't think like that. I always think like this sim has a personality outside of her family life, so it's different, or his, hers, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna start keeping that in mind whenever I am decorating bedrooms, because that's really good advice. That's gonna help me so much when it comes to decorating parent bedrooms. And with this house, there are 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. In my head, a teenager lived here with their parents, but it very quickly turned into a toddler lives here with their parents. So I do wish I could have made the kitchen look a little fuller, but I know that somebody is going to probably play in this house, so I wanted it to be functional. I don't really care too much about the functionality of a living room. Honestly, my Sims never use the living room unless it's to like watch TV for an aspiration or whatever, skill building. They don't ever really use the living room, but they always use the kitchen. So I try to keep it as clutter-free as possible while still looking good. I haven't play tested this house, but it should be functional. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I was looking at pictures on Pinterest when I was building this house, as far as interior decorating goes, and there were lots of blues, oranges, and yellows. So I wanted to bring those same color schemes into this house. So that's what I was trying to do here. Honestly, a lot of the yellow wallpaper is kind of ugly. I was trying to get wallpaper that matched those tiles, and I'm sure that there are somewhere, but I couldn't find wallpaper to match the yellow tiles. I wanted to have a couple of accent walls, but I ended up going for that kind of like beige yellowy color, and I still think it looks good. I use a similar wallpaper in the living room too. I wanted to have some hanging lights over the countertops, The thing with this house and the lighting is that those big windows in the front bring in so much light. So I didn't want to put too much lighting in the kitchen because I found with windows plus lights anywhere near the kitchen is going to make your white countertops glow, and I hate looking at that. So I ended up not putting a chandelier or anything over the counter like I wanted to. I do use that cute little retro phone from the, I don't remember the name of the event that's going on right now, but it's from the current event. I also wanted to use more older looking clutter objects for this house because, well, I know that they're not going to have some sleek, nice new pans. I was actually reading not that long ago, somewhere on a thread, that times have changed so much, people don't necessarily reuse older stuff. They just throw stuff away and then get something new if it breaks, if it's ripped, whatever. And early 2000s, I guess, is whenever that stopped. People just started buying new stuff instead of learning how to sew or repair, which I thought that was kind of interesting how times change. But yeah, I was keeping that in mind when I was building this house. I placed a few plants around. I am a huge plant decor person. I don't have a lot of plants in my own home. I think I have like maybe 2 plants that I've managed to keep alive. But whenever I'm playing The Sims, there's such a universal decor option. You have a blank area in a room, plant. Corner looks weird, plant. Coffee table's empty, plant. This little phone nook area is one of the cutest little spots, I think. I put a little sticky note pad from the Everyday Clutter Pack so that when you're taking a phone call, you can write a note for whoever is supposed to be receiving the call. I do, however, don't necessarily like how minimal is in that corner, but there's a tiny little walking space. I don't think your sim can fit through it, but I wanted to at least be able to enter through one of the doorways into the kitchen, so I didn't want too much going on right there. I also struggled a little bit with decorating this counter. I know too much clutter on these counters would make them not functional, and there's not a kitchen table. I did want a kitchen table, it just didn't work out that way. It is what it is. They can still eat here. If you do play in this house, you can just remove the clutter on that middle cabinet and it should be fine. This living room turned out so good. It is probably one of my most favorite living rooms I've ever done. It does take me a little bit to kind of get a flow going, but I had already struggled with it once, so I knew what I didn't want. I don't think I kept either of those pieces of furniture. Those are from Pastel Pop, I believe, and I'm gonna have to do a separate build using those because I bought that kit and I honestly have never used anything in there other than the wallpaper maybe. Yeah, I think just the wallpaper really. I use it for kids' bedrooms. There isn't too much dark wood going on, but I did want it to be an accent color, and you do see it a little bit here and there throughout the front of the house, the back of the house. Obviously the windows are kind of dark, but I wanted to keep that going in the main areas. And now that I think about it, I still pictured a teenager living here when I was doing all of this. I don't think I decided a toddler lived there until I started decorating that extra bedroom. But behind the couch, there is going to be an easel and a poof. You could remove those and put things for toddlers. Toddlers require so many big, bulky items, and children. But you could remove that easel and the poof and put stuff back there for kids. There's plenty of space. I thought that wallpaper looked so good right there. I have never used it. This is one of the Decor to the Max kit, or is it a stuff bag? I think it's a kit. I don't know. There's a lot of both stuff and kits. Anyway, that's my first time using it because I just bought that kit. It was a kit that I had been wanting for a while. I didn't buy it because there were other kits that I wanted instead, and they've been releasing new kits like crazy. So I'm trying to figure out which kits I want the most, which kits can wait, but eventually I do want all of them. I'm close. I probably have more than 50% of all of the kits at this point. And I did pre-order the new businesses and hobbies pack. I'm so excited for that. I actually do have a lot that I built like 2-ish years ago. It's up on the gallery, and it's the Bubble and Thrift tea store, or Bubble Tea and Thrift. I don't know what it's called. But I have that lot type with an apartment above it, and it's like split. So like the bottom left side is the bubble tea store and the right side is a thrift store. Both of them are decorated so cute. I am obsessed with that build. It's one of my favorites. And then on top of each of them are the owners of the thrift and bubble tea. So like the thrift shop one is like an old lady who lives up there. That's probably a family owned business she's had for a long time. And then the bubble tea side, she's like a younger girl, probably around my age, and she owns the tea shop and she lives up top, and it's very pink and pastel and it's super cute. But yeah, I will actually be able to use that, and I'm super excited about it. I do plan on doing more builds like that in the future. I looked at the little roadmap a little bit. I wish this expansion pack would come out a little bit sooner though. I think I'm just super excited for it. I have not been this excited for an expansion pack since growing together. I was so excited to get infants. And I do play a lot of family gameplay. That's why a lot of my houses do have like 2+ bedrooms. This entryway is super cute. It has the accent wall with all of the stuff right there. The rest of the walls are super plain. I did that intentionally. I used the Growing Together collage picture frames in the hallway. I think whoever lives in this house is going to add more picture frames. I do try to leave a couple of blank walls for that reason, and I've said it like a billion times. I actually do play in some of these houses, and I really like my family to be close knit, and I take so many pictures. They're just fun to look back on, and the pictures that I take with the camera actually go into a folder in my Sims files somewhere. So it's always fun going back and looking at some of the older Sims that I've played, and I don't know, just a cute little detail that I like. Um, I'm really bad at placing lights on houses. As you can see, I decorated like the entire entryway before actually putting a light in it. I realize when it's way too late, I've already decorated and I'm like, oh, I need to put lights. So that's what just happened there. And I think I went ahead and put more lights in the other room so I didn't forget. I thought that bed looked really good with the wallpaper, so that's what made me decide that I wanted a toddler to live here and not a teen. And honestly, not a huge fan of decorating teen bedrooms. I think a lot of the children's beds and the teen beds are kind of ugly. I think we need more. Um, I wanted to have a teen bed that looked like this toddler bed, but I couldn't find one, and this room was too small to put a double bed, so now my teen is a toddler, which is okay. This room turned out super cute. I tried to place a bunch of little toys on the ground because the toy box doesn't come with toys. So there's toys scattered. It looks pretty lived in. I did the sideways carpet, which I don't normally do sideways carpets like that, but I figured this child plays really hard, so that's why it's crooked. The parents' bedroom, this was before I got the tips and advice to continue the theme throughout. I did do it a little bit, but the clutter is definitely lacking in this room. Not my best bedroom moment, but it still looks okay. It still looks good. And I really like the Love Stroke beds. That one specifically, one of my favorites. I'm definitely going to be using that in a lot of my builds. I'm gonna try not to use it in every single build that I build, but I do really like it. I don't like that that expansion pack didn't come with a dresser. It came with the little suitcase, but I want a matching dresser for my bed. And it could look like the desk right there. It could look like the nightstands that match. I don't know. I wish we got a dresser. The Comfy Gamer Kit is so nice because I can't tell you how hard it was for me to decorate the little desk areas before because they all ended up the same. I would do like a picture frame, a candle, a light, tissue boxes, and usually books. That's pretty much my go-to clutter style anyway, but being able to put the little boba drink right there, love it. I love having the new pencil holder. It is so cute. And I always put tissues everywhere. I think it's a great little clutter object to make the house feel lived in. If you hear any crying in the background or weird like sliding noises or whatever, those are my dogs. Now that I'm watching this speed build, there are some objects that I wish I still would have used, like where the phone is. I had put a shelf underneath the picture frame. I should have kept that. Also, that little dream catcher, I could have put it in that spot that I was going to put it, and then I removed it, but yeah, just a couple of little things I wish I would have kept. At the time, just felt like too much. Bathrooms used to be my least favorite to decorate and just come up with. I used to think that I never made my bathrooms big enough. And so I really like doing 3 by 3 bathrooms because I can fit everything that I want to. I like making the bathrooms look like bathrooms and cozy, and like you have a long day at work and you can come home and comfortably take a bath and feel at home and peaceful. So that's, yeah, that's that. I've been really enjoying it. Um I also got I do have the bathroom clutter kit. I'm not sure how long I've had that one for, but that has made such a big difference when it comes to decorating my bathrooms. I love the clutter kit so much. Now the backyard. I did actually cut out a lot of decorating the backyard because most of it is just me going over with terrain paints and trying to figure out how I wanted the layout of this. But yeah, this backyard is definitely one of my favorite backyards. Usually by the time I get to this point, I'm kind of over decorating and I just want it to be done. But once I got that terrain paint figured out and the fence situation, it kind of just like took off from there, and I love it. I love this backyard. I love this house. And honestly, I feel like the shaders made it so much more fun and appealing in the end to see it all come together. So yeah, here I am messing around with some terrain paints, and that was cropped. So probably spent a good 20 minutes trying to figure out how I wanted this backyard to go. And this is where it ended. I don't keep those rocks. I think I used the fence and I put a little slide back there for the toddler. I do hope that you've enjoyed this speed build. I think this one is by far the best video that I have done. I look forward to posting more of these, and hopefully you guys can help give me ideas and some inspiration on what to build next. I do like to build community lots, so if that is something that you want, or if there's something specific that you want, just let me know and I can do that for you. And on that note, I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of this video, and I'll see you next time.